Hey there, it's Angella Sharpe, and welcome to the Daily Mix. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like that the temperature has dropped to almost fall-like temperatures. I prefer when it's 101 degrees outside and you're sweating. I like the summer. But if you're one of those crazy people who likes fall, we got a bunch of cool stuff coming up later in the show for you. Also later in the show, live in studio, I've got Austin Forkner, SMX racer, will be in the house talking about the playoff race coming to St. Louis, SuperMotocross. So it's gonna be really exciting. We're gonna find out really what SuperMotocross is all about. In addition to that, you get to see me ride from last year. So let's get started on today's Daily Mix. The kids are back in school. The weather is a little cooler. It's hard to believe, but fall is just a few weeks away. Which means that we have some of our favorite events that are also right around the corner, like Oktoberfest. The Oktoberfest Food Festival at Six Flags St. Louis kicks off this weekend. Enjoy craft and seasonal brews, a special menu of German-inspired food, desserts, and live music, all while surrounded by a festive setting of fall and Oktoberfest decor. The festivities run on Saturdays and Sundays from 12 to 7 at the Mooseburger Lounge at Six Flags through September 22nd. You can learn more and plan your next visit at sixflags.com/St. Louis. And yes, they're having Oktoberfest in September, because you have to keep in mind Six Flags does Fright Fest in October. City Museum is kicking off Oktoberfest this season with a special City Nights event. Enjoy everything the museum has to offer, this adults-only event. There will be live music and entertainment by Uber Cool, arts and crafts where you can make your own buttons, prints, and other crafts, and of course, plenty of food and drinks available for purchase throughout the museum. The party gets started at 7, but you can enjoy the museum all day long with your event ticket. Oktoberfest City Nights will take place on Friday, September 5th at City Museum. Visit citymuseum.org for all the details. Oktoberfest also returns to Grants Farm this September. Celebrate the farm's German heritage with a variety of German draft beer, traditional German food, live German music, and dancing. Plus enjoy the farm's animals and all of the other favorite activities. Oktoberfest is included with the free general admission and will run September 5th through the 7th and 12th through the 14th at Grants Farm. You can learn more at grantsfarm.com. All right, now if you're a fan of Napoleon Dynamite, you won't want to miss this event happening at the District in Chesterfield. Steve's Hot Dogs is hosting a Napoleon Dynamite bash where you can dine on specialty hot dogs created just for the event. Because you know Napoleon loves tots. I don't know, I've never seen the movie, but that's what they tell me. Apparently he puts them in his pocket. Plus, you can get your photo taken with a real-life llama, participate in the look-alike contest, and play trivia for a chance to win tickets to the upcoming movie event coming to the factory later this fall with the stars from the film. It all takes place Wednesday, September 3rd from 5 to 7 at Steve's Hot Dogs in Chesterfield. Now the Rep is gearing up to kick off its 25-26 season with the British comedy, The Cottage. It's the Roaring 20s and women dedicated to exposing her affair to both her husband and her lover's wife with a shocking plot twist, scandalous reveals, and razor-sharp humor. The Cottage is a funny hit comedy where no one's secrets are safe. The Cottage will run September 3rd through the 28th at the Loretta Hilton Center at Webster University. For tickets and more information, visit repstl.org. And the Northside Trap Run, St. Louis's first and only hip-hop 5K and festival is set to return the first weekend of September. This family-friendly event is hosted by Northside Community Housing and features great music from more than a dozen of DJs and celebrates the important roles small community families play in North St. Louis. The 5K starts and finishes at North Sarah and Dr. Martin Luther King Drive, and the festivity will take place on Martin Luther King Drive between Sarah and Witter. It all takes place Saturday, September 6th from 8 to 2. You can find all the details at thetraprunstl.com. All right, like I said, we got bikes on the stage. We've got a SuperMotocross rider in the house. Why don't I first take you back and show you, they let me get on a bike last year. I got to ride around. And before I show you this, I want you to know that I thought I was going so fast and doing such a good job. And then you watch it and I'm barely putting around. So anyway, take a look at this. I have to gear up now because I'm gonna get on a bike. So I gotta look the part. There's probably a safety rule also, but I'm gonna call it looking the part. I am really gonna look the part now. Hi! Remember how when you were a kid and you would get dressed up for going out in the snow and your mom dressed you in all those clothes and it was hard to like move your pants or your legs? It's kind of what I feel like. I feel like I'm in big snowshoes. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Then you got the TTR 110 here.
Okay.
It's no clutch, only gears.
Okay.
So you have the front brake here, the rear brake here.
Okay.
The shifter there to put it into gear to get it going.
Okay.
And it's electric start. So whenever you're ready.
So let's walk me through this like I'm very slow.
So we'll put you in gear.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that for you.
All you're gonna have to do is give it gas and ride around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start it, all that stuff. You won't be able to reach the rear brake with your boots on.
Okay.
So
Good call.
So you just, if you want to slow down, you're an adult. Literally, you can just stand up, right?
First of all, I like that he said you're an adult because we all know that I do not think I'm an adult, but he reminded me you're an adult, you can stand up. Okay. So this I might need and just stand up.
Slow down.
Okay.
Don't hit it too hard. Just be really gentle with it.
Okay.
And then to get going, the gas.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead.
Ooh. Okay. All right. So we get over here like this. I look good, right? Look good? Okay.
So I have you in first gear.
Okay.
It's the easiest gear to ride in.
All right.
And we'll just go ahead and turn the gas a little bit to get moved up.
Oh, I messed it up.
All right. Now you're in gear.
Oh.
So be super gentle on the throttle there. There you go.
Gosh.
Yeah. Perfect.
I gotta put my feet on the thing. Okay. All right.
There you go.
Ah!
Yeah, perfect.
Look at me go! I feel like I'm going so fast, but you're walking with me.
She's a natural. An absolute natural.
Okay, this is so fun. I want to. Let's see if I can turn. Can I turn? The turning is hard.
Yeah. Perfect.
Hey, that wasn't some.
Remember, all your speed is in that throttle, so whenever it starts to get out of control, just twist your twist your wrist forward.
Like right there.
Like a professional. Absolutely natural.
What do you think? This is fun. I mean, not that I'm gonna do this professionally, but it's cool to do. Look at me driving like I know what I'm doing. I really did. I thought I was going so fast on that. Now joined by the magic of television, Austin Forkner here with me, SuperMotocross rider. Now that was Supercross that I was riding.
Yes.
What is SuperMotocross?
So it's a hybrid, it's a combination of the two. Supercross is in the dome like you saw,
Okay.
and the tracks are tighter. They're like around a minute long, a little bit less, and we do one 15-minute like race as like the main event.
Sure.
outdoors, the tracks are like 2 minutes long, so they're longer, they're bigger, they're faster, and we do 2 30-minute plus 2 lap motos. So Super Motocross is a combination of the two. It's like we have 3 rounds. It's kind of like our playoff rounds, if you will. And they kind of combined Supercross and motocross. So the track's like 1 minute and 30 seconds long. So like right in between Supercross and motocross. And then we do 2 20-minute races throughout the night. So it's like right in between the length of a motocross race and the length of a Supercross race. So it's kind of just the best way to combine both Supercross like track-wise, but also how the race is throughout the night as well.
So you race Supercross and motocross throughout the year, and then for the playoffs, you come together and ride Super Motocross.
Yes, correct.
Oh,
Yes.
very interesting. Okay, so you have to back me up. So I know you're from Missouri, a little bit farther away from where we are now, but from Missouri. How does somebody from Missouri get started in riding any sort of motocross, Supercross?
I mean, my dad had a bike. It was actually my uncle's bike, and he kind of quit racing them. There was a bike laying around on my grandparents' farm. My dad started riding, and then I was born. And obviously, as a kid, you want to do what dad does, but when dad rides a dirt bike, that's pretty dang cool. So, I just started riding, and he got me a bike, and I started riding, and got to like 7, 8, 9 years old, and started to do pretty well. So started to do some of the bigger races in the amateur scene that we call it is there's like 6 or 7 races throughout the year that you kind of go to kind of get recognized by the teams, like all the top teams to get basically at that point it's to get free bikes and help and free gear and stuff like that.
Right.
But then being on one of those teams, it can progress as long as you keep doing well into a pro career basically. So that's kind of slowly started building, and next thing I know I was like 17 signing a pro contract, and then now I'm 26 and I'm still doing it.
So you've been doing this for a little while now.
Yeah.
Now, you have a child over here in the wings. You just said you want to do what dad does. Do you hope that this child eventually will want to do this?
Yes, because I think that, so I go back and forth.
Right.
But because I've had a real hard time with like injuries.
We're
and
going to
stuff
talk about that in a second.
Yeah. So that's just the reality of this sport. Is it's not, we're not rolling ankles. We're not, we're not tweaking a wrist. We're not, we're tearing ACLs. We're breaking backs.
You broke a bone in your brain?
Well, I mean, and then there's that side of things. So I've had brain surgery. I've had 3 ACLs, my back a couple times. So that's kind of just like, that's just the risk you take in this sport. It's so dangerous and the bikes are so fast, but that's also what gives you the adrenaline rush as much as it does. And that's why people get on dirt bikes and they crash and then they go straight back to it, because there's nothing that I've been able to find that can replicate what you feel when riding a dirt bike.
You're riding in those couple of minutes.
Yep.
That's all worth all the other stuff. Now, I know coming back from an ACL hurts and it's not good, but we have to talk about this brain.
Yeah.
So you broke a bone, like a bone in your skull?
No, I had there's this thing called an AVM in your head, and it's like a cluster of blood vessels, and if they cause strokes, aneurysms, seizures, things like that. Like it's not really an uncommon thing. I had one of those in my head, and I got a concussion, and broke my back and some other things.
Sure.
But they were checking me out, doing CAT scans at the
all the
hospital,
things,
make sure I'm good. And they were like, hey, you're fine from the concussion. Like, obviously you're going to take some time off, but I had stuff I had to.
Right.
So, but they were like, there's something else in your head that we don't really know what this is, because we're, just a normal hospital. They were like, you need to go see like a specialty, like somebody that deals with this stuff. So I did, and they said, yeah, we need to get this thing out, or you could potentially be in real bad shape or dead within the next.
Right.
They said last year. They said last year it probably would have ruptured at that point, and where it was in my head would have done bad damage or may have just killed me. So, and that was about the time we found out about him too, about Atlas. So it was kind of a blessing in disguise, to be honest, because if I hadn't have had that big crash that I had last year, which was one of the, it's still even hard for me to watch. Like it was a bad one.
I would imagine.
And but it was just a blessing in disguise, because if I'd hadn't have went to the hospital that night, I may not have found out about that thing in my head, and then I may not have even lived to see my son. So
sure. So
yeah.
you made a very positive spin on that. So I was going to ask you, you had to be out. Did you even question coming back to the sport?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you ask any of us riders right after we get hurt, we're like, I'm over it. I'm done. You know,
Right.
I hate dirt bikes. That's just the typical thing. That's if you ask us within the first week or two after we get hurt, we're all going to tell you the same thing. I'm done. I'm over it. Never touching a dirt bike again. And then you start to come around, and then you start to feel better from the injury or the surgery or whatever it is, and you're like, I think I want to start riding again. And then a couple weeks later, you're like, yeah, I definitely want to start riding again. And then you start to do rehab or do therapy or whatever, and you start walking again or using whatever bone you broke again or whatever,
Right.
and you're like, yeah, I'm doing it again. So it's, I don't know, to a normal person, you would, like, I've seen a lot of doctors and people in hospitals and people that are like, why do you keep doing, like, just why do you keep doing this? I can't tell you an exact reason on why any of us keep doing it. It's just kind of the way that we're wired in our head, I guess. I guess we're just a little bit out there, and that's fine. That's just how we are, and that's just our dirt bikes are our thing.
Did you get any pushback from your wife who's over here or your parents or anybody when you were like, you know what, I am going to ride again?
Yeah, just kind of both sides of things. Like
Sure.
my wife, she was supportive, hey, if that's what you want to do.
She's here, so she's here to support it.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do, if you want to keep racing, whatever, I'm here for it. I'm going to support you. But also at the same time, we got a kid now, so you kind of got to take that into consideration as well, because I mean this sport is very dangerous. So in the blink of an eye, things can change from, you could be on the highest of high to the lowest of lows within like that. So you kind of got to take things like that into consideration, and I have, and this year I've made it through the whole year healthy, and that's my first time I've made it through the whole year and not had an injury, I think, my entire career. So I have, like, my results haven't been quite as good this year, but I backed it down a little bit and just kind of have been doing my thing and got through the whole season healthy up until now. We have the 3 SMX playoffs, so I got 3 races left. So as long as I can do that, getting through a whole season healthy is a challenge in itself. So that's a win in my book.
That is a big win. And like we talked about, that playoff, the second playoff round is coming right here to St. Louis. How do you gear up differently for a playoff round since it's Supermotocross versus Supercross or Motocross?
So we, as in my team, Triumph Racing, we have a facility in Georgia that we train at. We had people come and build like a replica track of what we're going to be racing at. I think we actually have the St. Louis track. It's not exactly how they're going to do it, but it's close. So we practice on that track. Like, we just started last week practicing on that track, doing similar style motos to what we'll be doing that night, which are 2 20-minute races. So we kind of just, it's not you don't have to completely change everything training-wise and stuff, but you have to set your bike up a little bit different for that race, because in Supercross it's super, super jumpy, super technical, super tight, because it's on a smaller,
right there. Yeah.
And then outdoors, it's a lot faster, a lot bigger, and bigger jumps and stuff like that, I guess, but less of them. So you set the bike up in different ways as far as like suspension, motor stuff. You tune it in different ways, basically. So you kind of gotta, it's tough because you kind of gotta combine those two and kind of find that middle area, I guess, on how to set the bike up. So that's what we've kind of already been working on that. I feel like that's probably the biggest thing, is setting the bike up to be good at both motocross and supercross, because they're so different that it is hard to set a bike up to be good at both. Is kind of that's just one of the struggles, I feel like.
What is your favorite part of any of this? I know what do we call those? Whoops.
Yeah.
We call those, right? And then, do you like those? Do you like the big jumps, or do you like more of the motocross, the longer ride?
I like probably the technicality of supercross, just how, well, I guess it's a love-hate relationship, but just how perfect you have to be, like, when you're riding a supercross track, is you can't make mistakes. I mean, we're dealing with, like, like in baseball, football, they're dealing with, you're dealing with inches basically,
yeah.
feet to catch a ball or to do this or do that. Well, With us, we're dealing with inches or feet, but if you're inches or feet short or long on a jump, you're going to the hospital. So it's not just like, oh, they
Right.
miss a catch.
Yes, I'm actually going to the hospital.
Yeah, throw a bad pitch, whatever. It's like with us, you're probably going to the hospital if you're. So the consequences of that are just so, which.
Just crazy that you of all people are like, that's my favorite because I might end up in the hospital.
That's like I was saying earlier. That's the adrenaline rush that I've never found anything that even compares to it, because it's when you're winning and when you're at the highest of the high, you feel like you're the baddest dude on the planet. Like you feel like there's nobody that can touch you, and then you can go from there. One slight miscalculation to you're in the hospital, you feel like people forget about you, you're out of the limelight, you're watching the guys race the weekends and weekends after winning, and you feel like you're nobody basically. So it's just the highs and the lows, and you kind of just, it's a roller coaster, I guess, and I feel like you just kind of learn to ride the roller coaster. So
that is crazy to think. And you said bad pitches. Later today, you're going to be at Busch Stadium for the Cardinals game, throwing out a first pitch. Have you practiced your first pitch?
No, I have not.
Not at all?
Not really. No, we meant to practice a little bit this week, and just we left early to go to the race last weekend, and just we haven't had time. So maybe if I can go find a ball here after this interview and go practice with my brother-in-law's here.
Yes.
So if I can go get a couple quick pitches in with him, maybe. But as long as I can get it somewhere within, the general area.
So I'm gonna watch.
The catcher.
You just want to get close to the catcher.
Yeah. If I can get close, not go over his head or like 10 feet to the right or left. If I can land it right in front of him, bounce it straight up into his. I'm happy.
You're gonna be happy there.
Happy with that.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see though.
I love that. What position are you at when you head into these playoffs? Do you even know?
I don't even. So I believe I'm in 14th going into the playoffs, which is important, but it's not the end of the world, because so we have 3 playoff races. At the second and third playoff races, the points double and triple.
Oh, so you can make up a whole lot of points.
Yeah, I mean, yes. So what the points you go in at aren't necessarily like gonna make or break you, because a couple good races, you win at the last race, you get triple the amount of points. You can make up a bunch of positions really quick just in that one race.
So this St. Louis race, which is the second playoff,
it'll be
is
double.
Important. That's a double point race.
Yes, it'll be
so
double
let's
points.
tell everybody where they can get tickets, plan their day out, because we didn't even get to talk about a lot of the stuff, which is there's some pre-party things where people can meet some of the riders and that kind of thing. Where can people get these tickets? How does this work?
SuperMotocross.com. The Fan Fest, which is where you get to meet the riders and stuff, it is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Opening ceremonies start at 5:30, and then the racing begins at 6. So yeah, go to SuperMotocross.com and get your tickets.
So let's kind of talk about that very briefly. What is a Fan Fest?
So basically, like, you love basketball, you love baseball, you love football. When can you really go meet the players?
You can't.
You can't.
Right.
You really can't. You can see them from afar. You can spend a bunch of money, get the closest seats, but you're 20, 30 feet away from the players, whatever. FanFest, you can come and actually meet someone. Like, we have lines, and we'll have autograph signings that if you just want to go wait in your favorite rider's line, you can go wait in their line and you can get a signed poster, you can talk to them, you can get a picture with them, you can meet them, whatever.
It makes it so much more personal.
Yeah, so that is where this sport is really cool in that way. You can walk up, all of our bikes, our factory bikes are sitting right there. You can walk up, you can't touch them, but you can get within, you can watch the mechanics work on them.
I got bikes right here.
Yeah, you can watch the mechanics work on them. You can watch just everything that goes on a normal race day basis. And then if you want an autograph, then you can wait in a line, you can get our autograph and talk to us and meet us. So that is where we are a little bit different than the normal stick and ball sports. And, in a cool way, because you can, it's not like just even this last weekend, people will come up and you're only talking to them for 10, 15, 20 seconds, but that can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
It can be a big, people have said that this made their day, made their kid's day, getting to get an autograph and spend 15 seconds talking to me, where for us, you wouldn't think, but for some people,
for a kid, especially a kid who maybe wants to be just like you. Maybe there's a kid somewhere here in Missouri like you. So I guess all the Missouri friends should be cheering loudest for you this weekend.
I mean, I've won at the St. Louis Supercross one time before, and it was pretty. The stadium went pretty crazy. So if I can win or get a podium, then I think it would be pretty loud. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna pop that on the screen one last time for you. It is September 13th. You don't want to miss it. SuperMotocross.com for those tickets, and it's the Dome at America Center. Now that's gonna do it for the Daily Mix. But I would love if your wife and baby would join you out here and wave goodbye to us, if she's willing to come on out here while I tell you about the rest of the stuff. Make sure you follow. Austin, do you have a social media handle?
Yep. Just Austin Forkner on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Just Austin Forkner. That's it.
Just follow along with him and see everything that's going on. And then don't forget to follow us. You can connect with us: Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram. Let us know what you think. Drop us a line. And don't forget to download the STL TV Now app and stream us at home or on the go. That's going to do it for the Daily Mix. We keep it right here on STL TV and Experience St. Louis. I'll see you next time.